Hey, it's me, your favorite person. It's Crimson. I'm in the right skin this time. Wow, look at me. Here, well, my inventory's kind of full. Here's the skin. I feel like I should go somewhere more empty. Yeah, sure. Let's take a break from mining. Okay, I have so much deep slate because I'm working on my upstairs area because I don't feel like digging out my entire underground section right now. So I hate staircases. I hate them. I hate them. I think not crouching will help actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm going in third person a lot. It's a habit. Okay. I thought that was diamonds for a second. That was just copper. Yeah, here we are out in the open. Here's my Minecraft skin. I don't have room. Actually, the wings are canonically a part of me, but there's like a corset thing on the back. This is based off a real outfit I have in real life, by the way. I have this shirt. It's a bit more vibrant, and I have this corset thing, and I have this skirt, and these socks, and this crown. I forced my younger sister, to make this crown for me. I actually look a lot. And then I don't actually have the flowers on the side of my head. Yeah, you can see it here. I'm getting rid of the crafting grid. You can see it on like the side of my head. I have the elf ears in real life. I don't have the flowers. I was planning on making them, but then I got bored and decided I didn't want to. Yeah. I do that with a lot of things. Be prepared. Here, I'll show you guys the progress that I've gone through since I last recorded, which I'm not even sure if I'll leave in the video. So here's the church. I've kind of built up more of a roof and I forgot to light it up actually. I'm just realizing that. My subtitles are going crazy. I need to turn off subtitles. I'm going to die. I should probably eat. That might be smart. Yeah, I forgot to light it up because I didn't have any torches on me. I don't have torches on me. Oh, that's why I was gonna die. I had no armor on. You know what? That makes so much sense. I actually haven't checked on the iron farm. I think it's broken. Yeah, it's been like that for a while. I don't want to fix it. I don't care about iron that much. I'm getting so much iron from digging, okay? Because that's all I do in this game, okay? I get bored, I go build something. I get bored of building, I go dig a massive hole. I love digging. So, for reference, I have dug 131,372 stone. I love digging. I didn't actually pick up most of it. I only picked up 63k. I don't use stone. I use deep slate. Okay, maybe that uses stone. But honestly, I don't care. I don't. Let's see what else. I've dug 51,039 grass, and then I've dug 31,629 dirt. So, yeah. I love mining. Not picking it up, mining. Why else do you think I have 2 pickaxes and like 4 shovels? 4 netherite shovels. What do you expect from me? Okay? Okay. But yeah. Actually, I need more rockets at some point, but I don't really care. I also need a better way down here than just falling and almost killing myself. Today, I'm just mining for a bunch of deep slate because I have nothing better to do and I love mining, as we've just been over. I've had this world since, only July 2025, but I took a massive break from it and it took me forever to, like, beat the game. And, like, because honestly, I used to be scared of like, going to the end and, like, the nether. But now that I have netherite, it's great. And now that I've come to accept that I play with keep inventory on, it's great. Yes, I play with keep inventory on. No, I don't have cheats on. Watch, okay? game mode. See? It doesn't work. Here, you want me to type out the whole thing? It doesn't work. I don't have cheats on. I opened it to LAN. And then I turned keep inventory on. And then I've never opened it again. Yeah, so I think the main part about Minecraft, right, is really just, you know, finding your play style, I guess. You're gonna notice I use a lot of filler words. But it really is just like finding your play style and like understanding like what type of gameplay is right for you. I just broke a torch. Because not everyone likes playing on like hardcore mode, or like not everyone likes playing creative mode, not everyone likes playing the game without cheats. You know, Minecraft is a sandbox game. There is no rules, okay? There are no rules to Minecraft. No rules. You will listen to me. Anyways, I just feel like, especially like online, it's been becoming like less and less normalized to, you know, play the game however you want. I mean, people say like, oh, you're supposed to play Minecraft like this or like this. And it's just like, it's just kind of frustrating because Minecraft's meant to be like a sandbox game where you can do whatever you want. But once you like start playing in a way that doesn't conform to the general like standards and ideas of like how basic people see Minecraft, then you're automatically considered, oh my gosh, you're a cheater. Oh my gosh, you must be so bad at the game if you play with keep inventory on. No, I'm not bad at the game. I've lost my items like a million times, and I'm sick of it. Do you know how many netherite sets I've gone through? I keep dying. I used to keep dying to like lava or like really far away while on expeditions, right? And I would just like never find my stuff again. And I would get so mad that I would like quit the game for like a month at a time, which is why I don't really have that much progress in a Minecraft world that was made in July, but it's like November right now. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's the real problem with Minecraft. I don't even know if this is gonna actually go in my video. To be honest, I should probably just start streaming with how much I yap once you like get me on a topic. But, you know, I've gotta ask permission for that because I am a minor. Yeah. Oh, my cat's gone. I don't know where she went. Yes, my cat is named Kitty. Well, she's named Raven, but no one calls her that, okay? It was a compromise with my sister when we first got her because she wanted to name her like Mittens, like Little Mitten. Look at you, Little Mitten. No. Okay? So we had to compromise with that. And so we ended up with Raven after the Teen Titans Go character because my sister used to watch Teen Titans Go. And we were like, okay, yeah, that works. You would think like, oh, just call her Ray Ray. No. We've had her for like 5 years, okay? She knows her name is Kitty, Kit Kat. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, okay? I don't know who told you that. It doesn't work like that. I need to stop zooming into my face. It's really fun, though. I understand why YouTubers do that. I actually don't know how long I'm going to be mining for today. On the day I'm recording this, it's like November 17th. So, there's this, you know what I've been watching, guys? I've been watching Vampires SMP. And as of this recording, it ended yesterday, and I am still distraught about that ending. Okay? I'm distraught about the fact that it ended in general. I need more things to watch, okay? All I do is I lay there and I bed rot, okay? And, you know, it actually gave me a reason to get up early and watch, like, videos instead of, you know, sleeping in. Which, you know, it's literally the exact same thing. I'm still laying there watching videos, but at least I'm being productive. Anyways, so yeah, yesterday was episode 8. It was sad. In fact, after watching everyone's endings and then everyone's POV that I got to, I haven't gotten to watching everyone's POV yet. I should probably do that while I mine, but I don't really care. Yeah, while I was after I did that, I was like, I'm going to the mall today. So I decided I was gonna dress up like a vampire in real life to mourn the loss of my beloved vampires SMP. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday at the mall. I got a couple of weird looks from like kids. They kind of looked at me like, what the heck are you doing? And I just kind of, you know, ignored it. I'm a big theater kid, so you know, this is probably why. Yes, I know, I look different, right? I do my eyeliner different. I do my makeup, okay? Like, for the longest time. It took me... I've only been doing my makeup since, like, for, like, a month. But, like, for the longest time, I didn't do any of it. I don't know, it was just weird going from the shift to, like, no makeup every day to, like, doing, like... I don't do, like, a full face of makeup. No, that's too much for me. But, like, what I'll do is, like I wear contacts, so I'll do, like, eye stuff after I put my contacts in. Like, I just really put on eyeliner and mascara, right? Because I don't really have that much makeup. I could probably take it from my mom, but I don't really want to. I mean, I have before. I have eyeshadow. I have a bunch of stuff because I use a lot of it for, like, theatrical makeup. I wasn't looking at my hunger. But yeah, I just started doing it, and going from the shift to, like, wearing no makeup to, like, wearing makeup was, like, such a big, like, jump for me, because it gave me another reason to, like, get up and, like, quickly get moving in the morning, rather than, like, laying there in bed until, like, 20 minutes before we leave. It's now 30 minutes! Wow! It's kind of fun. For the longest time, and I'm gonna sound like a pick-me girl when I say this, I didn't really understand what all the hype about was makeup, or the hype about makeup was, right? Like, people would go around and, like, be like, is my makeup okay? Can you fix my lashes? Do you have any lash glue? And I'd just be like, no, because I don't really understand the hype. But now that I've actually, you know, tried it, I'm like, oh, this is actually really fun. It's like another form of, like, self-expression, I think. It's just much more normalized to, you know, do your makeup in crazy ways rather than, like, your outfits, you know what I mean? So I think right now, especially in, like, teenage girls, I can't say this about teenage boys. I hate most teenage boys. I say most. I'm friends with a couple teenage boys. They're great. Okay? Yeah, mostly teenage girls, they find their, like, sort of self-expression in doing stuff like their own makeup and having their own, like, makeup routines, and kind of, like, asking why a girl does so much face stuff or, like, all that kind of stuff. It's mostly men, to be honest. I just try to think about, like, what if someone criticized you for sagging your pants? And this is just me hating on boys who do that in high school. Nobody wants to. It's not cool. You're not funny. But yeah. Why is there a glow squid? Hello? I'm trying to think of other things to talk about. I don't know. I've got to talk about things that, you know, won't expose my identity. This is really hard. How do... I guess this is the one, like, good thing about, like, having, like, streaming or, like, having friends to play Minecraft with you, is that you can, like, interact with people, and it's so much easier to actually talk about, like, stuff about, rather than just, like, try and, like, scrabble up whatever thoughts you have to, like, talk about some sort of topic that, you know, some of your viewers might not find as appealing or, like, engaging. Yeah, unfortunately, all of my friends either play console edition Minecraft, aka Bedrock, or they don't like to play Java with me, okay? I have my sister, and she doesn't even like Minecraft, okay? I got her into, like, a 2-week phase because I got her into Vampires SMP, and that's it. That's the only reason she'll play Minecraft with me. I'll if I pester her enough, she might. If I bribe her, she might. That's it. Those are the only 2 reasons. She barely even plays when she's in here. I've given her a full set of gear, okay? She's like, I don't really like this. And I was like, well, I'll give you a full set of gear and, you can just kind of do whatever you want. And she was like, oh yeah, please. So I did. And then she left the game. I could have kept all that gear. I could have used that gear, okay? I I could have used that to do more mining. But nope. And then sometimes, alright, every like once in a blue moon, she'll like log on and like she's like, "Oh, yes, I want to build this." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll get you the materials." And then like I get her the materials and she's like, "Okay, bye." And then she logs off and forgets about it. Okay. Like what did I get all those materials for? Um I guess that's the benefit of having SMPs. You always kind of like have talking points and like things to do when in a single player world with like no friends or like no SMPs I'm currently on and literally on my first video, it's really hard to like talk about stuff. I like that. I want to be on an SMP one day. The only problems are I'm a woman and I'm a minor. Yeah, I'm a high school girl, okay? Most adults don't like interacting with high schoolers. We all know how Minecraft YouTubers and children go together. I would have to like, I don't know, convince my friends to play Bedrock, or not Bedrock, Java Edition, or I would have to join a Bedrock server, but with all the bugs Bedrock's having, I would have to wait a while. So, and I can't really just talk about the kind of builds I want to do because I don't really plan those out. I have like a certain like color palette that I generally know the idea of. Like I'm going generally like more gothic on this. Thanks Gemini Tay. No, I love you, Gem. I love Gemini Tay. Which I think the only reason I'm going more gothic on this is I think it'll be a really funny contrast against like the very brightness of it, and then you have like this little gothic like area that's just like there, and it's like, oh, hey. So that's really the only reason I'm doing gothic, besides I really like gothic architecture. It's gotta be my favorite style of architecture. I have a couple of planning worlds that I've kind of built a gothic castle. It was out of Deep Slate. I love building castles. I'm just not really good at it. My first ever castle was something I actually helped my dad on when we first got Minecraft. I used to play the old version of Minecraft. I used to play Minecraft PS4, and it was like one of the older versions. I don't know. I was really young. But I started a console world, right? And you have split screen, and you can play with like 3 people or like 4 people at once, right? On Minecraft, on the old Minecraft console edition with like split screen. And so I would play that with my sister and my dad because my mom doesn't really like playing video games. She has really bad migraines. So I would play it with them, and so what we would do is we'd all kind of just like run off. I remember my first Minecraft building. It was in a creative world. I made a house of diamond blocks. Wow, amazing! I know, so original. I can never have an original experience. And I couldn't find any torches, so it was full of redstone torches. And I wanted it to be lit up, so I just had to keep progressively adding more and more torches. And so it was like a ton of redstone torches in there. And my sister kind of built on her own extension out of like emerald blocks. I remember the old emerald. Oh wait, I missed diamonds. I remember the old emerald bedrock. Whoa. The old emerald texture. It was so ugly. I don't even know why I liked it, but it was so fun. And then it was like half dug into the ground, so I kind of had this like sort of underground section. It was where my bedroom was. and I like covered the wall in paintings. Well, the walls that weren't covered by the redstone torches. And through one of the paintings was the underground of my dad's house, which was made out of stone and was really confusing. His basement was kind of like filled with like glowstone on the roof, and I think it had like a fish tank in it or something. And he kind of just like hung out down there, really. And the walls again were covered with paintings. I don't know what our obsession was with paintings. But that was my first Minecraft world, right? And then you have my first Minecraft castle, which my dad actually built on while we were all playing split screen. He took this giant mountain he found in old Minecraft. I heard a door open. 1 second. I'm gonna shut my door. I'm just gonna assume that was my dog, walking around downstairs. I don't know what that was. That was weird. But, yeah. He found this giant mountain, and it was like near spawn, kind of. You know, one day I'll recover the world, and like, oh, I have the world. It's on my PlayStation. It's on my PS4 in my sister's room. But like, one day I'll like record it, or like upload it to my computer, and we'll go on like a world tour. But he found this giant mountain, and you know, me and my sister, we were like making houses at spawn, and you know, just hanging out there. And he went over to this mountain and was like, I'm gonna dig out this thing and build a giant castle. So he did. It was actually really cool. He kind of like flattened out most of the top and like made like a bunch of stone walls, and when you'd go inside the castle, it was inside the mountain mostly. And because it was kind of hard to go around, he would cover the ground in like colored carpets, and you would follow the colored carpet to where you needed to go, or like follow different paths. Like one of the paths, I think it was a red path, led to like a pool area. You could follow like the green path to go outside and like walk around on the walls, look at the fountain. It was always like snowy up there because it was, you know, covered in snow. Because, you know, it was high up, it was a mountain. Duh. But I think I helped. I didn't really help. Oh, I ran out of torches. I really only helped with that one on like carpet placing. Pretty much all of it was done by my dad. And I've noticed this pattern, okay? He really likes using stone. I invited him onto my Minecraft world with a couple of my friends, it was last year. I used to play Pocket Edition on my iPad, right? But, you know, it's basically Bedrock now. And, I would connect a PlayStation 4 controller to my iPad using Bluetooth and play that way because I was too lazy to use the PlayStation 4, and I would walk around with my iPad and play Minecraft. And so what ended up happening was I had this Minecraft realm, and what we would do on it was we would everyone who was on it was me, my ex-boyfriend, and some of my ex-boyfriend's friends. Before you ask, yes, me and my ex-boyfriend are still cool, and yes, I have dated a man. Unfortunately. I'm kidding. He's great. He's my neighbor. We're still very much friends. Oh, you a little annoyance. I didn't one-shot you? Okay. What the hell? Why are there two of you? Did you come back from the dead to haunt me? Why can't I sleep? Okay. I forgot what I was talking about. We were all on that server, and we kind of just all hung out, really. Yeah, so I invited my dad to that server at one point because I love that server. My Minecraft realm is down now, but I still have the server like saved on my iPad. So I can really, you know, play it whenever I want. I let my dad on the server, and his first instinct was, I'm gonna go in. I brought him to where everyone was, and he was like, hey, I found this cool cave. Can I build down here? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So he built in a cave. Again, he really likes building in caves. I don't have a storage system yet, please. Everything is in shulker boxes everywhere. Okay, forgive me. But yeah, he immediately went to go live in a cave with like and like use stone as like his main thing. He used some cobblestone because he couldn't figure out for the life of him how to make stone. It was really funny. He thought lapis was like sapphire. Um there was one other thing. And I didn't really have the heart to tell him that wasn't what it was. I think he thought redstone was rubies. It was really funny. And you know, I didn't have the heart to tell him that no, those aren't in Minecraft. I guess he just couldn't read. Gosh, I really want to stream. It'd be so much nicer talking to people in like reality instead of just yapping and like probably going to be cutting out most of this in like an actual video. Oh well. If someone wants the full mining VOD, or not VOD, if someone wants the whole mining trip, here you go. It's just me yapping. But yeah, I've been playing Minecraft for a really long time. It was pre-COVID, actually. I started pre-COVID. I was really young. It was maybe like 2015. No, it was like 2016 maybe. I started playing Minecraft. And it was, honestly, it's just kind of amazing to see how far the game has come. Even if, like, I don't remember a lot of it. I used to play Minecraft a ton. I did play Minecraft a ton over, during COVID-19. I had these friends from out of state, although our moms knew each other. We were kind of born around the same time. But I used to play with these friends out of state on their Minecraft realm. You know, on my iPad on Pocket Edition. It was COVID, so I think at the time it was Bedrock. I think it was, yeah. But, I used to play on their Minecraft world, and during this was the Dream SMP. Now, I think you can see where I'm going with this. But none of my friends really knew what that was. And you know, there was way too much peace on the server, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna recreate the Dream SMP. And, you know, they didn't know what that was. So, I brought the Dream SMP to my freaking Minecraft realm, right? I broke off and decided I'm gonna make my own nation, right? Originally, I was planning on being like, you know, I was gonna be like a Technoblade character and like live off all on my own in the woods. And then there was a spruce forest right by me, and I was like, yes, I'm going to form L'Manberg. So I did. And you know, the goal was like I was gonna go against most of the server, right? And you know, I had a couple of friends who were taking it way too seriously, and looking back on it, I was not really a good person with this. But most of the server ended up siding with me in my quote-unquote L'Manberg, and they had me make them little Minecraft uniforms. Have you ever seen how detailed Pocket Edition skins can get? I used those ones. They're like 120. They have like the higher pixel rate, so like the 1 pixel of my like green eye or like my red eye right there, that would be like 4 different pixels, right? So I used to use those kinds of skins, and what I would do is I would just kind of like, they would just like give me the link. They would like give me their skin file, and I would put like the L'Manberg flag. The problem was everyone, except like the server owner and one other person, wanted to join my resistance, and I was like, oh, this is actually not turning out the way I want it to. But you know, I kept going anyway. I was being a kind of a mean person. I was super immature. You know, I was like, I'm gonna accidentally blow up your base with a creeper. So I did, and it really made her angry. And, you know, I remember I used to have this kind of superiority complex because I was, like, a grade ahead of everyone. We were all kind of really young. But, I would be like, well, I'm actually older, so I actually know more than you. And that was, you know, and I just kind of be a bit mean. But keep in mind, I was really young. I'm not going to say how young I was exactly for privacy reasons, but I was pretty young. I mean, you can kind of guess. I'm a high schooler now, so, um, but yeah, I kind of had that weird superiority complex. So, like, my friend would be like, hey, can you stop, please? And I'm like, well, are you gonna. I wasn't even fighting for independence, to be honest. I was just fighting to be mean, now that I think about it. But I was like, hey, are you gonna, let me do this? And she was like, no. So, the realm was called, like, Springfield or something. Um, and, like, I don't know. I feel bad about it looking back because we're not friends anymore. We actually fell apart after that whole thing. Um, but and I haven't really talked to her since. But it was one of the most fun times of my life hanging out with those kinds of people on a Minecraft realm during COVID. Um, and like getting on a FaceTime call and like on a group FaceTime call. Eventually, like everyone started to like stop playing, and like I think I was part of the reason of that because I was kind of by the time I was like kind of being really mean, I most of the server had stopped playing, and you know, yeah, she got rightfully mad at me, um, and for the longest time I thought I was right, and then like a couple it was like it was in like 2023. She like texted like a group chat and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was really immature, and blah blah blah. I would love to go back to being friends, and blah blah blah." It was the old group chat that we all played on, or we all used to like call on, because you can do like group voice calls on like iMessages, right? And some people were like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and I was like, "Oh, I think I was kind of immature too. Don't worry about it." Um, Unfortunately, we never really ended up like even with that text message, we never really ended up like getting back together and starting a new Minecraft realm. I still occasionally hear about all of them, mainly because my mom is friends with one of the the girl who owned the realm was like kind of a mutual friend between or it was a friend that I met through like the girl that lived in another state and my mom knew the parents of. Um she was a mutual friend, and so what ended up happening is I don't really ever talk to them anymore. I hear about them. I don't ever hear about the server owner that much. I think her and the girl my mom's friends with kind of fell apart. Um Here, I'm gonna make this easier. The server owner, the girl is we'll call E, and the girl that's kind of like my friend is L, right? So L's mom is friends with my mom. And E is a mutual friend I met through or not a mutual. She's a friend I met through L. Because L wanted to add her friend to like our like Minecraft server and like have her hang out, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, E is the one I was kind of being super mean to. I think E and L fell apart kind of over time. I still hear about E a ton. Um, Mostly kind of just about her high school life. It's just kind of weird to imagine someone that you used to play Minecraft with for like hours on end, like becoming a whole other person. It's really weird. Someone who had like the same COVID upbringing and like the same kind of like way. I don't know. I don't think we were raised the same way. Our moms are friends, but that's about it. It's just really weird seeing someone you used to know kind of slip into this person who you'd probably hate if you met them right now. Um, yeah, like she's even like stayed over at my house before. She's flown in from like a different state into like mine and was like and we like hung out. We used to go like on bike rides a ton. I miss her sometimes. I miss that whole thing of like 20 kind of like the 2020 friendships I kind of had. Yeah, I don't know. I have a bunch of weird random stories like this. Um I have so many. Oh my god. Um I have a story from the first person who tried to confess to me. Actually, it was really funny. It was this girl I was friends with. I'll call her H because it's the first name. It's the first letter of her last name. Because I have way too many friends who start with the letter A. But what ended up happening was, well, so the first person who ever confessed to me was H, and she was a girl. We were in like middle school. We had just entered middle school, and I had been friends with her for maybe like 6 months. And you know, when you first like get into middle school, you're kind of just like, you know, everything's kind of a question. You're questioning everything. You're questioning your sexuality. You're questioning, you know, and COVID had just gotten over with. Like COVID, it hadn't been that long since COVID ended. So most of us still kind of had that COVID mentality. So she was kind of like, she was experimenting with her sexuality, and she considered herself a lesbian, right? I didn't know this at the time. But what ended up happening is I kind of predicted it. But my friend, she was like, "Oh, I have a crush, but you know, I don't know if I should tell you." And I was like, "You can tell me." And then she's like, "I don't know." And so I was like, "Oh, maybe she has a crush on me, but I don't want to think that in case, like, you know, I'm the weird one. You know, I don't want to make everything about myself." So I didn't say anything. She just kind of refused to tell me about her crush, right? Which, you know, should have been a major red flag, because she would tell, like, she told, like, P, because me, P, and H, that sounds like a chemical. Oh no, my chemistry. Ugh. Me, P, and H were all kind of like a trio of friends. P and H used to hate each other, really, and which is why I was a bit confused when H told P, who her crush was, but not me. And so eventually we were sitting at lunch one day on a lunch table, and I had a ring pop because I had won it from one of my specials classes, which is basically just kind of like electives, but like your whole class goes, right? I had won it, and I was like, I'm gonna eat this ring pop at recess. And then because our school was a K-8, we still had recess, but what ended up happening was she was like, "Oh, can I borrow your ring pop so I can confess to my crush? I'll give it back." I was like, sure, yeah, you gotta give it back though. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I will." So I gave her my ring pop. Or we went out to recess. And I was hanging out there, and I was like, H ran off to go, confess to her crush. And I was just kind of hanging out with P. Yeah, I was hanging out with P, and we were, like, waiting for H to be done. And then H comes running over. And I'm like, oh. And she still has the ring pop, so I'm like, oh, maybe she's done. And then she comes up to me and is like, "Hey, Crimson, so, like, will you be my girlfriend?" And me, kind of panicking, because I don't really know her that well. I don't really know what to do, so I pull out my phone, and I'm, like, texting my mom, and I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what to do. H just told me she wants to be my girlfriend," and I told H, like, can you give me some time to think about it, please? I took the ring pop. It was really funny. I took the ring pop, but I didn't give her a clear answer. So I ran off to my to a different playground. And, like, P was following me, and she was kind of, like, pressuring me, and she's like, "It's just gonna be really sad if you say no, you know, right?" And I started to feel more bad, and my mom hadn't responded yet, and I was like, "Okay, just tell H I'll date her, whatever." And then P's like, "Okay, yay!" And then, you know, we kind of, like, hung out a bit, and you know, I was still texting my mom. My mom texted back, and, like, I was still talking to her a bit about it. And so after school that day, we had middle school sports. It was track season. It was the very start of the school year, too. So we had track season. And what ended up happening was we kind of did our warm-up laps, right? And this was like 3 hours after we had gotten together, I guess. But, we were running our warm-up lap together. And by running, I mean we were running at a walking pace. And so we were talking a lot. And I was like, so about what happened during lunch today, or recess today, I don't really like you like that, actually. P just kind of pressured me into, like, saying that, and I would rather us stay friends. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Yeah, I understand." and then it went back to normal. I still miss H. H went to a different high school. I actually texted her last night as of recording this. I really miss her. We had some of the same interests. I wouldn't say a lot. I would say some. Like last year, during Arcane, we both made a ton of Arcane. I reposted a bunch of Arcane content. She made some Arcane content. And I was like, oh, we both like that. But she was at a different school by this time. So, yeah, I missed her. I still tell her happy birthday. I talked to her on her birthday. Because her birthday is actually 4 days before mine, which I think is really funny. My birthday is June 28th. So, her birthday is, like, I forgot. June 24th. Yes, I know I share a birthday with Markiplier. My biggest flex. But what ended up happening was I text her every year on her birthday. She texts me on my birthday, tell each other happy birthday. That's about it. I texted her last night and I was like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I still miss H. We actually, after that whole, like, I thought I was a lesbian thing from her. She went on to go boy crazy throughout the entirety of middle school, and she, dated like the worst people possible for her, really. It was kind of sad. She got the short end of the stick. Like, she would fall in love. She was one of those kids who, like, had a new crush on a different boy, like, every week. Yeah, she had, like, a new boy crush, like, it wasn't every week, it was, like, every other week. But, like, when she got into a relationship, it, like, calmed down, and she was, like, happy to stay with that guy. I think she was really just craving relationship, to be honest. And she would, like, go back to the same guy multiple times. So, But what ended up happening, I think she's happy right now. I see her TikTok sometimes, and she has like 3. I keep finding them. She keeps making new ones, and they pop up in like my For You page, or like I find them and I just follow them, and she follows me back. It's great. I like all of her videos. She comments on mine sometimes. Did I run out of torches? I ran out of torches. But yeah. I miss her sometimes. I don't know. It really depends. Although there was a ton of, she had so much high school drama going on. So I'm glad that's gone. I miss having her as a friend. I'm glad the drama's gone though. That's all I'm happy about. Middle school drama is horrible. Oh my god. H and P ended up becoming best friends, and I ended up being like the third wheel of the trio. And so H and P were like, they were like, I'm crossing my fingers right now. They were like this, right? So they were super close, and I was just kind of like there. And it was really funny because I was really the reason they became friends, and they kind of just like, decided that they left me out a lot. Every time I confronted them, they would like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll fix that. And then they'll like fix it for a week, and then like it got bad again after like a week. And I would repeatedly tell them, hey, can you not like leave me out? And they're like, oh, yeah. Eventually I got a new friend group in like 8th grade, and it was probably the best friend group I've ever been a part of. Only one of them, or like 2 of them, shared my interests, and they were both boys. They were like the only middle school boys I could tolerate, and one of them ended up being my now ex-boyfriend. But it really wasn't that bad. My 8th grade experience was probably my best middle school year. 6th grade was great. 8th grade, 7th grade was horrible. I hated 7th grade. I never want to do 7th grade again. I'd rather die, actually. Yeah, 7th grade was horrible. It's calmed down a bit since, high school, except, I'm still friends with P, even with, all the weird stuff she's done. She's gotten better, but, God, I really need to start streaming. I need to ask about that. But anyways, that was my mining session. I think I have a decent amount of cobbled deep slate for now. I'm gonna probably turn most of it into these bricks, and then finish this building. I'll finish the church, I think, is what I'll be doing next. And then I'll plan out for what's gonna go right there. I have an idea. I have big ideas. Yeah, there's my mining session in Yap. I don't actually know how much of that's going in the recording. Probably whatever doesn't dox me. I actually accidentally said a bunch of people's names a ton of times, so I'm gonna have to cut those out. And honestly, that was like an hour-long mining thing, so that was an hour-long recording. So I don't think I'm using all that footage. I don't think anyone wants to sit there for like an hour listening to me yap and mine at the same time. I'll probably just keep in the stuff I talked about, like the Minecraft stuff. Bye!